What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, yes, Modern Warfare 3 is almost here, so we're going to have a ton of content regarding Modern Warfare 3, obviously, once it drops, and there's real stuff to go ahead and talk about. But today I wanted to discuss a little something regarding Infinity Ward and Modern Warfare 2, because Infinity Ward just recently came out and did something for the game Modern Warfare 2 that, to me personally, shows how desperate they truly are. And I'm not talking about being desperate to get players to return to the game, but desperate to cover their reputation, After Modern Warfare 3 released in the beta form, God, let's be honest here, all across the internet, every YouTuber you could possibly think of, every person on Twitter, Facebook, whatever it is, Instagram, whoever follows Call of Duty pages, Infinity Ward's getting bashed. After playing Modern Warfare 3 and after seeing all the positive changes and seeing that, the main Call of Duty pages hyping up the movement and, basically roasting Infinity Ward, they have been getting demolished. And they recently put out a little a little update for Modern Warfare 2, which kind of shocked me because we're 2 weeks away from Modern Warfare 3. Actually, pretty much less than 2 weeks away from the Modern Warfare 3 launch. Well, actually, it might be 2 weeks. I don't know. Around about the time, right? And they go ahead and put out another update to try to address a lot of the problems that are going on in Modern Warfare 2. And the funniest part about it is that nothing changed. I'm sitting here reading through the patch notes, and I'm looking at all these changes, and like I said, first and foremost, I'm wondering to myself, why the heck are they even bothering doing this? I mean, this game is going to be a ghost town within a week or two. What's the purpose of even trying to do any of this stuff? And then I actually go ahead, I test it out. Of course, I'm not going to showcase any gameplay because I don't bother recording that game anymore. Thanks to everybody who tuned into the stream and helped me out with the testing, of course. If you guys want to be a part of those processes and hang out with the community, get some good vibes, we do open lobbies as well all the time over there. We do stream over on Kick. You can find the link to that down in the description of this video. That stream usually goes live around 12:30 to 1 p.m. Eastern time. That's where we did all the testing. But, of course, I'm going to showcase some Modern Warfare 3 gameplay, not to, I don't want to burn your guys' eyes off right now. But during the testing, I tried out absolutely everything, and nothing but just confusion. Absolute confusion. And once again, it makes me think that Infinity Ward's getting desperate and they're just trying to, cover up how crappy they truly are nowadays to the overall community. First and foremost, before we go ahead and dive into the main topic, which is basically the balancing in this game and what they did to adjust that, I do want to mention a bug that they fixed up, which I think is extremely hilarious because I had tons of people coming at my neck saying this is a beta win, this is a bunch of BS, this is a pointless video. But they just recently fixed the bug on the 24th that allows souls to give you extra points towards your score streaks. And I've been told time and time again, this has been fixed. This was fixed right off the bat. It was never fixed. And I continuously kept telling everybody, it's not fixed. I guarantee they're not going to fix it because they want people to buy the bundle. They want people to cough up cash. It's all part of the system. So on and so forth. And here we are, the 24th, basically, a week plus almost 2 weeks in, they finally go ahead and quote-unquote fix the problem. Come on, guys. I had to go and, just mention this very quickly because, seriously, really? Sledgehammer fixed, a problem of similar difficulty in less than a day. And you're telling me it's going to take 2 weeks for them to go ahead and make sure that the souls don't count towards score streaks? You want me to believe that? Do you really want me to believe that after Sledgehammer Games just proved to us how responsive they can actually be with fixes in the game? Come on now. Once again, they're trying to do things to make them look good right now. They intentionally made it this way. I promise you they did this. They intentionally made the souls this way so they can sell the bundle so people would want the soul collector to stack up more points to gain more score streaks. I mean, up until the 24th, I was literally getting chopper gunners and gunships with like 5 to 8 kills. It was insanity. I couldn't even believe the speeds that I was gaining these streaks at. Talking about 2 AC-130s with less than half the timer running out and a match of kill confirmed. It's busted. And it takes 2 weeks for that? No, I don't want to believe it. But again, I just had to mention that because I think it's absolutely hilarious that, they finally go ahead and quote-unquote fix it now after, of course, they finessed a bunch of people out of their money to buy the bundles and they have everybody trying to scheme for the, the souls, whatever. All right, but the main whole purpose of this is the weapon tunings right now. Again, I don't necessarily know why they did this with 2 weeks left to go, but I guess they had the urge to try to prove a point that they do care and they want to adjust things to make it better. But then you look at the weapon tuning and you're like, what's the point? The mini-bot got nerfed. The Vaznev, it got a nerf, but whatever, the gun is already meta, I don't mind. The Latchman Shroud got a nerf. The weirdest SMG in the game got a nerf for medium to far range damage. Don't understand. ISO, the 9mm, nerfed. Like, I don't get it. The P90 got a buff, which I don't really understand because the P90 was already good enough as it is. Now it's a demon. If you haven't tried it, it's a demon right now. The Fennec I didn't even bother trying, but that got a buff. And the Baz P got a buff, but it feels exactly the same. And the funniest thing about it is that all the guns realistically feel the same. I tried them all. The Mini Bach, even though it got nerfed, it feels identical. The Vaz Nev, reduced damage, it feels identical. The Latchman Shroud, they claim they nerfed it, feels identical. The choices here are stupid. I don't know why Infinity Ward would ever want to nerf any of these weapons like that. But again, like I said, nothing changed. I went ahead and tried them all. They all feel pretty much similar. Moving over to the assault rifles, they nerfed the TR-76, which once again, stupid. We've had the TAC meta this whole year. And this is the first gun to finally compete with the TAC, and they already nerf it down. Doesn't make any sense, but like I said, I tried it again. It feels the exact same way. Cast off 7.62, they increased the damage, but it feels pretty similar. The 74U got a little bit of a nerf here, still feels pretty similar. The TAC, yeah, they nerfed the TAC again. Let me tell you, the TAC isn't nerfed, okay? It's still just as overpowered as it was before. It's pretty much the same gun. The only thing that's a little noticeable with the ARs is the Avancer got a buff, and the Razorback got a buff, and they actually both feel pretty darn decent because of the buffs. I'll be honest, but that's it. That's literally it. And then the battle rifles got a buff. Didn't notice any of those. The shotguns got nerfed, ladies and gentlemen. But they're still the same. The Bryson 800 caught a nerf, and I'm still beaming kids across the map with it. And the Lockwood 300 got a nerf for the Doom bundle, basically, skin. The attachment that you gain through the Doom bundle that's extremely overpowered. That got a nerf. And they're still crazy good. What's going on here? Right? Marksman's got some nerfs. I didn't really mess around with them. I don't really mind marksmen, but I think they're still pretty powerful. I got killed by the SPR still a ton, so I guess, well, that gun got buffed, so I mean, that makes sense. So I can't really talk too much on that one. And they didn't really mess with too many LMGs. But the purpose of this video here is that I am convinced this development team is trying to save their asses right now. Why in God's name would they put out a whole update with things to try to convince the community they're trying to change things around? And none of them do anything. None of them change anything. Everything's the same. It's a double whammy. The whole situation is weird. We are 2 weeks away from this game being absolutely pointless, useless, non-existent, and they're still updating it. That's the first red flag that makes absolutely no sense to me. They're still updating this game and trying to rearrange metas and rearrange stuff that nobody's even going to be bothering with. And I've heard, people say that maybe they're just readjusting the guns to, set it up for Modern Warfare 3, make them more normal. Again, it's a good idea, but it's no shot. Why would they nerf the Mini Bach when the game that it's going to be moving over to is 150 HP? If anything, all the SMGs should be getting buffs to work better with 150 HP, not being nerfed to the dirt unless something behind the scenes is going on that we don't know about, but it just doesn't seem too logical enough that they would nerf all these guns down for a game that has 150 HP. So that's the first red flag, that they're forcing out a random update before the next game drops. And the second red flag is that nothing happened. We got a whole ass update and nothing happened. I'm starting to believe that they're just doing whatever they can to make it seem like they care. Like they have some love left for Call of Duty. They don't want it to seem like they're abandoning this game, like they're leaving this, this title in the dirt. Even though they left it the whole year, they ignored this game. They gave two craps about community feedback the whole life cycle. They literally listened to us a little bit during the beta, ignored us for the rest of the beta, went on a holiday break after the launch of the game, and then never returned for multiplayer. And Warzone got all the love, while 6v6 just rotted. Then they come back at the very end of the year, and in the final month, they're trying to communicate here. This is a bunch of BS, man. This is a bunch of BS to me. I just had to go ahead and call this out. If you're looking forward to, maybe a little bit of a change of meta, don't expect a change of meta. Like I said, I tested out everything. I already did all the work. Nothing really seems to be changed. I saw Exclusive Ace make a video about this, saying that they put out an update and nothing was changed for him. But he made that video before this update. I think he made it in the middle of the day, maybe the beginning of the day of the 24th. But when this update went live on Twitter for me personally, it was at like 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time. So they put out a second update, which is the one that I currently tested. And again, I don't know if they forgot to update it again or what the changes are, or maybe this is the legitimate, changes for the weapons. But again, nothing. It's nothing. Don't expect many differences in gunplay and metas. and whatever. They might have changed these weapons by like 1 point each, and that's it. Just to claim that they did something to the game and that they, quote-unquote, listened to the community feedback. Oh, you're tired of the TAC Vaznev meta? Well, we went ahead and, quote-unquote, nerfed it. They didn't nerf it! Maybe by, like I said, a half a point, but they're ridiculous. I'm still cross-mapping people with the Vaznev, and I'm mowing down 20 people at a time with the TAC. It's no different. Infinity Ward is something else, ladies and gentlemen. I can't believe the extent that they go through to really try to pull one over on the community at all times. It doesn't matter what they do, whether they're trying to finesse us with microtransactions, whether they're trying to finesse us with buying a game, whether they're trying to finesse us with, trying to convince us to believe that they're a good development. I don't care what it is. They are finessers. And it's just like, we got to brand it on them at this point so nobody else gets fooled by this strange team. And again, it's not that, the developers, they're just told to do what they need to do. But the head devs are on a whole different level. They got to get the hell out of there. Management has to be booted and reevaluated with a different person in charge. That's it. Because I cannot stand the head developers of this team. Like how, again, I know I already said it, but how do you ignore a community for a full year and then come back the final month and act like you care? And then when you act like you care, it still isn't enough because the changes don't do anything. They're useless. They're pointless change. I can't rant anymore, man. This team just, like I said, they blow my mind. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like, and by all means, if you hated it, leave a dislike. Also, don't forget, subscribe and hit that bell if you want to be notified for more content just like this. We post Call of Duty and X-Defiant pretty much daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern Time. And last but not least, if you want to see some live streams where we do, pretty much everything, we play the game live, do comparisons, check stuff out, review stuff, you can find the link to my Kick channel down in the description of this video. We usually go live around 12:30 to 1 p.m. Eastern Time. But as always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on our next one. Peace out.